again, everyone. I am back with some more rooms to show you. As I went over in the last video, I wrapped up the cemetery section of the temple, so this time we are moving on to the next quarter of the level. This one is going to be the bottom left gate of the temple lobby, so when you go through that gate, you will be greeted with this room following the big portrait of Urenica. So this whole section is going to serve as like a lore, history, museum kind of section. So there's going to be a lot of weird drawings in this part. Just kind of bear with me as I talk through what they are basically, and you will be able to learn what they mean in depth when I actually write out all of the dialogue that will be on these plaques. So let's get into it. So the first painting here is kind of a weird one, but you know, that's how I operate. So this has two little embryos here that are developing, and they are two embryos of the gods that went on to create the Lightlands and the Shadowlands. So you go through the next room and you are greeted with this painting, and these are eyes that are opening, but I realized after drawing the line art how suggestive they are as well. But I didn't change it because I roll with a lot of Freudian imagery in this game, so you know what? If you see what you see, then good for you. But anyway, so in this eye, it is opening to the symbol of the Lightlands, and then this one is opening to the symbol of the Shadowlands. And from this, we have the two gods born. So this is the goddess Tyrene of the Lightlands. She created basically what we understand as the real world in reality. She's very organized and structured in her rule. So that's why everything is very structured in the Lightlands as opposed to in the Shadowlands, which was ruled by Foldius, this god over here. He was a lot more whimsical and chaotic, so he would want everything in the Shadowlands to be, above all, amusing and strange. And that's why so much stuff in the Shadowlands is really weird, inconsistent, and there's a lot of life there that would not make sense in the real world. So these are the two gods that established the structure of the two lands as they are in this game. Continuing onward this way, in this room, there is either a staircase or you can continue on in the hallway. So if you choose to go up the staircase, then you will be greeted with this hallway. And so everything to the left of this painting will be visible, but everything covering this painting and to the right of it will be completely dark. So this will prevent you from continuing normally because Rina will not want to go in there if she can't see what's going on. So you are only able to access this area once you have the combat item for this episode. So in the same way that the Horo Fruit was used as a puzzle solver and a way to continue onward in the first episode, these same will be applied to all of the different combat items throughout the series. In this episode, it is this sort of like cloud of firefly type creatures, and they can be used to either stun enemies or light up dark sections of the map. Once you do go ahead and light up this area, you'll be able to continue onward. And there's another hallway here that will throw some enemies in. And this wall here will be mirrored on this side, so you'll basically see this path here, which ends with a wall, and then this one where you can continue downwards so that you can go outside. So in case you remember from the first couple rooms of this episode, there is one room outside where you can actually go on a second level of the temple. This is how you access that part. So once you get up through here, you are now on the roof. There's a lot of textures here that I haven't really added in because I didn't want to do it all traditionally. I wanted to have the option where I could just copy and paste things for both making it uniform and also saving time and ink. So there will be a doorway here that you can walk through and onto this side, and then that will lead you to this path through here. And then from here, you'll actually be able to access the second floor of the temple that was seen in the other room video. From there, you can grab the Aletheiite, see a vision if you want to, but otherwise, you can always just continue on. So from that room, you can access this one, and this one's not really easy to tell what's going on without me having it all fully edited together. But I'm going to be copying and pasting line art from the previous room that I've already done, so I can connect the structure here. So the only difference between that part and the previous one that I've already done is that there will be a huge crack in the wall and the floor here, so that you cannot continue onwards past this point on the second level. I also wanted to have a little like window that you could see down into the ground here, and I put this here because I wanted to put a clue to one of the puzzles in this little section here, but I haven't thought that far ahead yet with a lot of the puzzles that are remaining in this episode. So once I actually do figure out what puzzles I'm going to be working with in this section, I will figure out what to put in that little grassy patch there. But before then, it's just empty. I'll have to put something, but I don't know what yet. Alright, so now that this wraps up the second level of the temple that you can go through, so you can go back down these stairs, and then through this hallway you will see the final room I have done so far. And you can notice that this art style is markedly different than my previous drawings, because I like to think that all of the art and everything in this temple was done by multiple different contributors, both humans and demons, and so naturally they would all draw and depict things in very different ways. So you can tell that this artist is not at all the same as this artist, or this one, who I like to think is probably the same as this one. But either way, so this picture just depicts like the two gods as they have established the two lands and rule over it. Like I said before, I will have a lot more in-depth lore to talk about when I actually take care of the writing for this episode. So you will see more, and you will actually be able to understand what's fully going on in all of them. But for now, this is where I leave you. If you'd like to keep following development and you're new here, then please hit subscribe or check out any of my social media links. In particular, I have a Patreon, and I post all my content there early and post early builds of the game as I have them. If you find this game especially interesting so far, then please give it a wishlist on Steam or check it out on itch.io so that you will be up to date when it is available. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.